Hello once again, everybody. Congressman Jason Lewis here in Washington, D.C. You know, we just funded the emergency aid for the hurricane victims, and we gave ourselves 3 months to get some of the big problems done, including the national debt and tax reform. Now, why are those two things linked? Because we cannot solve our $20 trillion debt if we don't get this economy growing again. You know, the post-World War II average of economic growth is well over 3%. We're hardly hitting 2.5. Once in a while we move up a tad, but on average the last decade has not seen 3% growth. If we can get 1 or 2 percentage points more in growth, much more revenue will come in and we will solve the debt. We also have to have budget restraint, which is why I was glad to serve on the budget committee and got this year's budget resolution out, which actually cuts $203 billion from mandatory spending. But the key here is growth, and that means a tax code that encourages work, savings, and investment. Just think of it, if you're a small businessman or woman, you pay the top federal rate on a pass-through business of 39.6%. Then you add in self-employment taxes, add in state taxes, and pretty soon your marginal rate is 50, 60%. That does not encourage risk-taking, does not encourage capital formation, does not encourage work. That's why we've got to flatten the tax code, to have lower rates and a broader base. Right now we have very, very high rates. We have the highest C Corp rate in the industrialized world. I mentioned the pass-through rates. You know what? Some people have to pay those, but other people get loopholes and credits and deductions because they have lobbyists here in Washington. We need much, much lower rates, but everybody has skin in the game at those lower rates. That's the key to economic growth. It worked 30 years ago, it will work again today. That's what we'll be working on the next few months right here in Washington, D.C., and that's what I'm going to be focused on, to have tax relief and tax reform for the American people, for Minnesota and the 2nd District.